Hello, we're in Longmeadow, Massachusetts, on William Street. We're going to see what this street has going for it in terms of institutions that are on it, and also in terms of what kind of architecture the homes on it will have. Now, it's a long street that goes almost through Longmeadow. And now, at this point right here, William Street is important because it's got a cemetery on it, and we have one stop inside the cemetery, so we're not going to do that stop again, but you can do it on your own to see what it's like. And that's by itself makes William Street very important. And the further you go down William Street, the older the houses get. Now it's a very unique look. So, for instance, there's a beautiful home here, home of Herman Louis Burt. It says 1801. Right, so that's a very old house. You can see it's a colonial house, and it's very well maintained. And then there's another colonial house right here. That's also very well maintained. It's 56 Williams Street, and it has a nice look to it also. Right, and then the fire department is down this little entranceway, and then right in front is the Longmeadow Police Department, and they put it into a building that maintains the style of the street because they don't want to change the architecture of this area too greatly, right? And on the left-hand side is the First Church of Christ of Longmeadow. That's a church that started out in the early 1700s, and this is the second rendition of it. It was moved across, it was used to be on the green, it was moved across the way, and it became on the other inside bit of Longmeadow Street. And this house, this church right here, was made in the 1780s. I'm sorry, in 1760s, and it's quite good looking still. It has the rectory attached to its back at this point, and it has a social hall to its back, but it has a new social hall across the street, across Williams Street, that's built with a brick facade, so it gives it a nice look to it. And then there's a very old, probably federal style building. That means early 1800s, right to our right. And it's quite nice looking too. And we're going to cross the green. Now, notice how the green itself is set out. It's set out so that it's very large and breaks Longmeadow Street into pieces. And along this street, there's many institutions, and there's also many old colonial homes, right? So we're going to keep it going, and we're going to get out of the car, and we'll give you a view along the street. Okay, so this is called the green part of Longmeadow. It's on Longmeadow Street. It separates the two parts of Longmeadow Street. One part of that street is very busy, and the other is just an inside street of it. And it has many institutions, including the next church I mentioned. But if you want to find the stores, you want to find the old colonial house, those are in the busy part across the way. Looking at gorgeous classical style home across the way. It's built in it's built with gorgeous porches around it. Up above the second floor, you get even veranda that you can walk out onto. Even on the side, I think there's three places there. And of course, on the between the first and second floor, you have a bigger one on the side with a big porch. It's gorgeous looking. And this continues even up the street. You get to see some beautiful colonial homes up there. And so that street itself, Longmeadow Street, deserves to have its own tour along it. It's so long, it's 5 miles long, that it had to be broken into pieces to get a great sense of what it looks like. But it's all in its vast greenway. The last thing to point out, of course, is the church. And that church used to be in the green. And now look at it, it's not directly on the green anymore, but it faces to the green. So it's wonderful to see how they laid out Longmeadow Street and William Street, which is one of its axes. Okay, so thank you for coming on the tour.